So, what is a choir anyway? Let's start with the basics. A choir is a group of people who make music simply by singing together. You're probably thinking that bands and orchestras make music too, but unlike those instruments, choir members don't hold instruments in their hands. Instead, it's our bodies that are the instruments. Can you think of a different way that choirs are different from band and orchestra? I'll give you a hint. You're listening to me say them now.
Choirs don't just perform the notes and rhythms we see on the sheet music. We sing words, and we are able to tell stories with our voices. Choirs often sing in English, but they also sing in other languages. In fact, sometimes choirs are instructed to hum, scat, whistle, yodel, snap, stomp, clap, and whoosh like the wind. Before we go any further, though, it's important to know the composition of a choir. Some choirs only have a few singers in them, while others have hundreds of singers. Some are only for children, while others are only for grown-ups. Regardless of who is in the choir, they are most commonly divided into 4 large groups based on the range and sound of the members' voices. The highest voice part in the choir is called the soprano. It is most often sung by a woman, but sometimes by a boy or even a man. Sopranos can sing way high. Some can make huge sounds, while others make sounds like little birds. Take a listen. The next highest voice is called the alto. Many altos can still sing as high as a soprano, but they really love to sing the low notes. The alto sound is often really rich, kind of like thick chocolate if chocolate could sing.
Ask any tenor and they'll tell you they are the most important voice part in a choir. But that's only because they're able to sing both high and loud. Check this out. And words alone cannot express all that our hearts seek to confess. Bring us music, hallelujah. Bring us music, hallelujah. Bring us music, hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
In our choir, the singers with the lowest voices sing the bass part. While they can certainly sing a few high notes, the basses really love singing the low notes. Basses are like elephants. They can run if they have to, but they'd rather not.
Pretty good, right? So we still need to answer the question, what is a choir? We know for sure that people have been singing together for as long as there is recorded history. Choral music in the European tradition, which is what we are discussing here, has its origins in sacred music. That means religious music, if you weren't sure. Maybe you've heard of Gregorian chant. This is the earliest form of sacred choral music and was mostly used in churches as a form of worship.
Even during the time of Gregorian chant, people wanted to explore all the amazing things the voice could do. So many new tones were introduced, and using those new tones, we began to hear something called harmony. Harmony is when more than one note sounds at the same time to make a pleasant sound. Time, composers experimented more and more with harmony, and eventually, all this experimentation led to something called polyphony. So many words that end in phony. Polyphony is when multiple melodies are sung at the same time, and yet somehow it still sounds pretty cool. No one really knows when polyphony was invented, but it became super popular about 500 years ago, and we still hear it all the time, even today. Check out what all the notes look like when they are written down on the page.
Eventually, sacred music gave way to non-sacred music, and a new tradition was born. Basically, any music that isn't based on a religious text is called secular music. Go ahead, impress your friends and tell them how much you love Taylor Swift's new secular album. What's also neat is that a lot of secular music is also accompanied by instruments.
Nowadays, choirs sing all sorts of music. Religious music, folk songs, patriotic tunes, but our favorite might just be those tender love songs. We sure do sing a lot of songs about love. Speaking of love, Miles, did you know that more than 54 million Americans sing in a choir? That's 1 in every 6 grown-ups who love singing.
More than ever, people right now are realizing that choir is a safe place to be exactly who they are. Make friends, sing super awesome music, and have fun. Thanks for watching. We hope you learned something about choirs. So what are you waiting for? Find a choir and go sing.